So, this is what we covered last time. If you recall, that each of us has multiple bodies. This is our multi-dimensional self, and unless we are aware of this, we are just using incomplete concepts. Where do thought there is a location where thoughts come from. There's a location where feelings come from. There's a location where intuition comes from, and there's a location where consciousness exists within our architecture. So being cognizant of that is very important, because uh, this is the primary knowledge required in terms of deciding what is blocking our enlightenment, and how to carve out our enlightenment. So around our, yes, Pankaj.
Are they koshas or is this different than kosha?
Yeah, these are koshas. Last time we connected them to the concept of koshas. So these are
Okay.
koshas. Yeah, these are koshas. Yeah. So around your physical body, half an inch is your etheric body. We'll cover the etheric body in greater detail today. Then, for up to 30 centimeters on either side is your emotional body, that is just a little before your elbow. And then from that distance up to your elbow, like when you, if you can see my outstretched hands. So from this distance, from here until here, is the mental body, and from the elbow up to the bottom of the fingers, that is your intuition or your bauddhic body. And the length of your fingers is the spirit body or the atman. Okay, so this is how your inner architecture is. Yes, Nitin.
So, can you assume that your head never touches anything more than the orange, which is the emotional body, but your hands can, when they're stretched out, can they actually
Right,
touch
right,
spirit? Is that what it
right,
means?
right, 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 right,
So
right.
then, surprising that this is Jesus Christ because he's touching all the bodies. So if you stand with your arms out,
Yeah,
body is actually touching all the bodies.
correct, correct, right.
So your arms
It
and
does.
your
Sure,
fingers are the only ones that can touch. Is
sure.
that
I
correct
didn't think
assumption?
along those
That's correct.
lines, but it does have. You got a point. You got a point. Yeah, yeah. So he was in his position on the cross. He was actually in while he was in his lower bodies, he was also in his higher body, because of which he could forgive. And then he was in a lower body because he said, "Why God, why have you forsaken me?" That would be the astral body, being disappointed in God. And then being able to forgive the ones who are crucifying him would definitely come from a higher body, not the not the astral body or the emotional body. So, but having this architecture clear is very important, because at some point during this series of satsangs, we will be discussing where is karma located, what exactly is karma hindering, how karma stands in the way of the Atman, and how you can defeat karma and directly be stationed in the Atman. All these, the entire inner architecture is going to be very useful then. So I'll move on from here and I'll come to the topic for today. So the purpose of today's session is to know your chakras and to master your emotions. Okay, and I'll come to the theoretical part will be the bulk, the earlier part of today's session, and then the latter part will be the smaller part, but we'll make it more practical towards the end of the session. Until then, there's going to be more theory. So our etheric body is our pranic body. Okay. Now this etheric body is not, in according to some people, it is not a body in itself, but in Vedant we call it the pranamaya kosh. So it is a kosha. But in theosophy, it is not a body in itself. It is more like a bridge between the physical body and the astral body or the emotional body. Okay. So there are 60 trillion cells in the human organism, and they are connected via 23 billion human nerves and 23 billion pranic nerves to back up the. Just one second. It just occurred to me that I'm supposed to be recording this. Perhaps we're already recording it. Do you guys see the recording sign?
When I logged on, it said you're already recording.
Yeah, I also got that message, Bhaavin.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so your screen sharing has gone away. One second. Yeah. So all these nerves are actually magnetic in nature. That is their natural quality. They are responsible. We are electromagnetic beings, so these pranic nerves are magnetic in nature, and the physical nerves, the human nerves, are electrical in nature. So together we are electromagnetic beings. So this figure shows the network of nerves, in the body. So this is obviously an oversimplification, because you can imagine what would a network of 23 billion nerves actually look like. What a complex, miraculous human body we have. So this is what the etheric body or the pranic body is all about. It is a link between the physical and astral body. So it basically, one way in which I always choose to define emotion is energy in motion. So energy is the component. When you're feeling emotional, there is some or the other energy that is in motion. So energy is the component between the body, which is sensation, and the astral body, which is emotion. Between the two, what is common is energy, which is in movement. So this etheric body or the vital body or the pranic body is the link between these two. And it is full of ether or prana. Both are synonymous terms. And it has these three primary nadis, which you must have heard of: Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. Okay, Ida is the left nadi, Pingala is the right nadi, and Sushumna is the central nadi. Anybody with even a moderate exposure to yoga would know about these three nadis. And all these smaller nadis, they are same as Chinese meridians. Okay, so whatever they cover in acupuncture or acupressure, whatever they are focusing on, even in sujok therapy, so all of that are the smaller nadis, and they can also be called the meridians of the human system. This is what the etheric body is all about. I'm going to cover almost 12 such concepts today. Like etheric body is one concept. Okay, now what is the externalization? The next part is a phenomenon called the antahkaran, and antahkaran is the externalization of our nadi network. Actually, this has been miswritten over here. The externalization of the nadi network, or rather the externalization of antahkaran, is the nadi network. So the entire nerve network, or the plexus network also it is called, is the external manifestation of our internal antahkaran. What is antahkaran? It has four components: manas, chitta, buddhi, and ahankar. Do you want to take a shot at what each of them means? Like what would you assume manas means? These are pretty basic terms, but we use them.
Mind,
We
heart,
use
maybe.
them in our daily life, but
Buddhi is intellect, I think, Bhaavin.
So for now, I'm pausing this presentation. So, buddhi, yes, buddhi is intellect. You are right about that. But what
Ahamkar
would
is the sense of self, ego.
Ahankar is the sense of self, perfect, right? Right,
Chitta is
Memory.
the conscious, the
right.
conscious mind,
No, chitta is the storehouse of memories.
storehouse.
Yeah. What you meant by when you use the word conscious mind, that is another term which actually
Satchitta.
means that is chitta. Chitta and chitta are different.
Chitta,
CAC
as in Satchitta Ananda.
Satyata. Yes, yes. So that chitta is only CIT, and this chitta is CITTA. You know, so they are different. So this is chitta, which is the storehouse of memories. And what is manas?
Mind.
Heart? No.
Yeah, mind. So what is a mind actually?
Thought.
And
So mind is the playground
so
on which
certain
everything gets
terms will have
projected.
to be defined better. Yes, Vishal, could you repeat?
No, yeah, Bhavin, basically based on over the years, what I've learned from Gurudev again and again is mind is the stage, my interpretation again, and everything else that gets projected on the mind is a projection of the ego, intellect, and memory, right? So to give an example, for example, if I see an ice cream, I remember last time my memory says, "Oh, it was such a wonderful taste." Ego says you deserve it,
Right,
right? And intellect says, "Oh yeah, but if you have it, then you're gonna have more sugar and diabetes, whatever," right? So it's the interplay
right,
that was a random example. It gets projected on the mind, and this is pretty much how our life works, or at least a mental from a
right.
mental plane perspective, right? So
So
just to sum it up.
you're quite close. You're quite close, yeah. So Manas is actually Manaspat, you know. Manaspat is actually that screen on which everything is projected, as Vishal shared, you know. And what is primarily projected is a response to the sense organs, you know. That response to the sense organs is what is primarily projected. So that is the Manaspat, that is the Manas. Okay. So that together once. So together these uh, four become what is called the Antakarana. You know, Manasa, Chitta, Buddhi, Ahankar. But it's very important to know each of these the way they are. If you consider yourself a spiritualist, you can't be loose about these terms. You need to know what they actually mean. So yes, Rajita.
Bhavan, so I just had one doubt. Chitta is also the funeral pyre.
Right.
So,
Right.
uh, so consciousness and is it the same word?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't know that. The Chita is a Hindi word. I don't know if Chita exists in Sanskrit also. So these are hardcore Sanskrit terminologies
Oh.
otherwise. Yeah. And this is Chitta. So Chitta with a double T,
Double T.
Yeah. Yeah. So Manasa, Chitta, which is Manasa is again the screen where the sense organs are projected. Chitta is the storehouse of memories. Buddhi is the intellect. Buddhi will have two parts: Sadbuddhi, which is the discriminative intellect, also called Viveka, and Kubuddhi, which is the negative intellect, which takes you in the negative direction. And Ahamkar, the right word for it, uh, sense of self is how Eckhart Tolle calls it. Sense of separate self is how I call it. And the I thought is how Raman Maharshi calls it. Okay. So the I thought, okay, if he is referring to the big I or the big self with a capital S, he calls it I dash I. Okay. If you have read his literature. So, but this is the I thought. The I thought is actually the I maker. We should always remember that an ego is not a static attribute. It is being recreated on a moment to moment basis. It is you who are an open entity. You contract yourself. This is the example which Bhagwan Adida gives. that this open entity or consciousness contracts itself and it becomes a closed fist, you know, around which, wrapped around which is your entire world. That is your ego or your self contraction. It is a eye maker. You are making your eye from moment to moment. Like when you go to bed, your eye is gone. You're not making it anymore. When you wake up again, you're making it once again, so these are very important concepts to be very clear before we jump into hardcore Vedanta. Okay. Are we clear with the concept of eye maker? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So then
Bhavin,
next is, yeah,
I had a
yeah,
question. So
yeah,
I find myself very often not caught up, I would say, but having this internal, I don't want to call it analysis, but like a recognition that when I see somebody, right, and let's say I kind of decipher the behavior or whatever the situation that's going on as an interplay of these things.
yeah,
And you know what I'm trying to say, like, so you just kind of know, like, what a person, why they're reacting like that, or if a situation, why it's happening like that, right? In other
yeah,
words, there's almost a natural instinct of interpreting where their layers are, right, in terms of
yeah.
intellect, ego. But then, is that does that well, it's a natural reaction, right, because of the way I see things. So is that too much on my am I working up my layers
You are,
unnecessarily? You know what I'm
you
trying to
are.
say, like.
Yeah, you are, you are.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, it was just a question.
Right,
So
right, right. Yeah. So my simple answer was you are. That's it. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, one sec. So now I'll come to the concept of a sutratma. Okay, so antakaran we took up. We took up the pranic body or the etheric body. Then we took up antakaran. Now there is a concept called sutratma. Sutratma. I don't know how many of you have heard the Tibetan term called bardo. Bardo. Okay, bardo is that there is a natural cord which runs from our causal body. We saw the causal body last time. Okay, it is the upper mental body. Okay, so from your upper mental body is where you are sufficiently pure. Okay, and then from the lower mental body and the emotional body, that is where the karma takes over, your impurity takes over. So from the upper mental body there is a cord that runs all the way to your physical body. Okay, so it enters through the heart and it enters through the head, but it is anchored in the heart. This cord is also called the silver cord. Now you have heard of people having out of body experiences or near death experiences. Yeah, what is otherwise called OBE and NDE. You know what happens during that time, like for example, uh, 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 just after an accident, a person realizes that his body is lying there, but he himself is, say, 10 feet away. And he is looking at the body, and all of a sudden, he has this realization, oh my goodness, I'm not the same as the body. I am the one who is conscious of the body, and I am standing 10 feet away from the body. So that experience happens because of your silver cord, because of your bardo. I also know of masters when they do satsangs, they extend their entire sutratma or their bardo or their silver cord across the entire audience. You know they allow their prana to also expand as much. So and even during dreams, if you are a deeper spiritual aspirant, or if you are a spiritual teacher also, you tend to work on other people. Your astral body works on other people's astral bodies. So that I also was told by somebody that during dream state I happen to work on some of my own students without my own knowledge. So how does one travel so much? One travels so much during the dream state is when the sutratma or the connecting cord is elongated. So this etheric body or the pranic body is a small part of this entire Sutratma, which gets elongated. Okay. So this is another term for you to know belonging to our inner architecture. Then the solar plexus. Okay. Solar plexus is one of the most, this one got developed even before the human brain got developed, in terms of evolution. So it is like an inverted brain. Your solar plexus is your Manipur chakra. It is the typical area where you get flutters when you are attending an exam, or you're have feeling stage fright or whatever. That particular hollow below your sternum, that is where your solar plexus is. And if your physical energy is depleted, or your emotional energy is depleted, then your solar plexus is affected. So solar plexus is a very important aspect of the inner architecture that everybody should be aware of. Now there is the spiritual heart. Okay. Raman Maharshi Adi, this heart is two fingers. Your physical heart is to the left of your sternum. Uh, One side. Yeah, your uh, spiritual heart is to the right of your sternum. It is the spiritual heart when it gets activated, and it is connected to your atmic body. The very light of your consciousness flows from here. So there is the consciousness and there is the light of consciousness. Consciousness is Shiva, the light of consciousness is Shakti. Now this light of consciousness actually is rooted here in the spiritual heart. It is through the spiritual heart that the light of consciousness flows. So when you realign or reattune with the spiritual heart, that is when you get enlightened. Okay. And it is a powerhouse because that's where all your consciousness is coming from. Even your intelligence is coming from your spiritual heart. Yeah. So these are some key concepts. Just be mindful of them because we are going to be talking about this when we discuss karma and moksha. Now, what is your aura? It is the skin of your soul. Okay. Now it surrounds you all the time. It protects you all the time. It is different from these bodies. We saw all these different bodies. Your aura is the sum total of the emanations of all the bodies. There's the little one, Pankaj. There's the sum total of the emanations of uh, all the bodies. Okay. So it is like the vibrations coming from your physical body, your astral body, your mental body, lower mental body, upper mental body, bauddhic body, atmic body, all these vibrations that are coming, the emanations that are happening, the sum total of that is in your aura. So aura is a term which we very loosely use, but we are not aware what it is. So now you are aware that it is the sum total of the emanations from various bodies, and it is the means of communication for higher beings to contact us. So, quite often you may realize that you are praying and nothing is happening. Yes or no? you know so what is happening is that a higher being is not, God is obviously having a glimpse of you, and God is always taking care of you, but God's army or the higher beings, they are not so cognizant of you if your aura is not pure and lit enough. Your aura is like a torchlight. Suppose तुम समंदर में हो and somebody has to locate you, तो हाथ में एक टॉर्च लाइट होने से everything will be different. So that aura is like that torchlight. If it is strong enough and if it is pure enough, then there is absolute possibility that you will be contacted by a higher being. Not pure prayers go unanswered, because nobody took notice of you because your aura is not purified enough. God takes note of you always, but then there is this entire army which could also take note of you and support you. So that is the entire army of devas, you can say, the entire celestial army. But if your aura is not pure enough or strong enough, you will not be observed. And when the aura is pure and strong, there is a upside and a downside, that you are increasingly sensitive. So when you are more sensitive, you have a richer inner life. But again, if you are more sensitive, then problems have a way of affecting you more, you know. So it's you tend to clear karma on a fast track basis, if your aura is pure. So there is an upside to it and there is a downside to it also. And aura is, yes, Nitin, I'll come to you. Aura is never static. Okay, aura is never fixed. It is like your face. Your face keeps having different expressions. So in the same sense, your aura is always changing shape and form and changing its vibration, because it is the sum total of emanations of all your bodies. If you move from a negative emotion to a positive emotion, you are moving from a worse plane on the astral plane to a higher plane on the astral plane, a higher subplane on the astral plane. Same if you're having a lower thought and a higher thought, you're moving from a lower thought, a lower subplane of the mental plane to a higher subplane of the mental plane. So automatically the emanation will be different. So your aura is going to change. So your aura is like your face. It keeps changing. It is dynamic in nature. Right. Yes, Nitin.
So, when you say you can attract higher forces,
Yeah.
so you have strong aura, weak aura, highly sensitive, and and insensitive,
No,
right?
highly sensitive. And insensitive. It's a
And
weak aura.
insensitive.
Right.
So if I'm highly sensitive and a weak aura,
Yeah.
can I
No, you
attract?
don't have highly sensitive and a weak aura. You have a highly sensitive and a strong aura. They
Okay,
go
then
together.
can I also attract negative? Because if I'm
You
sensitive,
can. You can. Definitely you can. That's what I said is the apparent downside. But that negativity is nothing but your karmic clearing in a certain sense, you know.
so you
So
can feel it
then,
in some places and
yeah, yeah.
waves.
See, you absorb emotions, you absorb the emotions of your near and dear ones. You keep, when they get angry, you feel down. When they are loving, you feel better. This is all the sign of a absorbent aura, of a pure aura, you know. Obviously, you need to practice more grounding. There are times when you need to build kavachas around yourself, all of that. But
Mhm.
these are all the signs of a pure aura, and these can also become its downsides. So that is why the spiritual grounding and the rest, is required. Are
Because
we
I was
together?
past
Yeah.
midnight yesterday in a very secluded area and I was lost. I didn't have my
Okay.
phone and there was water around and it's like a jungle-ish thing. I could almost vouch that I felt something. So I hadn't
Okay.
felt fear in a long time.
You hadn't felt what in a
Uh,
long time?
your voice is breaking.
What did you say? Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I
One
can.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me now. Yeah. No, so you were mentioning some episode and you hadn't felt sicker in a long time, you said, huh?
I hadn't felt fear. I didn't have my phone with me,
Yeah.
but I was in like a very secluded area and there were all hills and water and
No, so what's the connection with aura? What connection are you trying to draw?
no, so I'm saying I want to know when do you attract negative, when do you attract positive was my question.
Well,
If I'm attracting,
you see, it's like the window, okay? When you
uh,
keep the window of your house open, you're going to
mm,
get air and you're going to get dust both.
okay, okay,
It's like that. So if your
mm,
aura is purer, then you're
mm,
going to get both.
okay,
Yeah. If it is not purer, there are times when I remember Leonard used to do transmissions for me. So he would
mm,
pass Mahathar Babaji's energies to me. And immediately after doing the transmission, he would ask me, did you feel anything? And if I would say that I didn't feel anything, then he would tell me, well, things are so clogged up within you that you're not able to feel these sensitive energies, you know.
okay,
So the transmission has happened, but you couldn't feel it, you know. So that my aura was not ready at that time, you know. And after that, my aura became such at a certain point where I would absorb like a sponge, which became another problem. Now, the next is the concept of chakras, which you guys very well know, so I wouldn't spend much time on it. But you can just go through the list, and these are. I will just tell the typical primary attribute of every chakra to you, just as a revision. Muladhara is about stability, Swadhisthana is about creativity, Manipur is about confidence, Anahat is about love, Vishuddhi is about expression, Agnya is about intuition, and Sahasrara is about spiritual joy. Okay, these are the primary attributes of these 7 chakras. Okay, so the concept of chakras, what is a chakra? A chakra is a plexus. Okay, chakra is something which an endocrinologist is always working with without knowing, because all your glands in the body, there are 7 glands. So like on the Sahasrar there is the pituitary, on Agnya there is the pineal, on Vishuddhi there is thyroid, on Anahat there is thymus, on Manipur are the adrenals, on Swadhisthana are the gonads, and on Mooladhar in the perineal area there is some gland, I don't remember. So your glands are located precisely where your chakras are located. Glands belong to your physical body, chakras belong to your etheric body. That is a difference. But and they are located at the points where all these 23 billion nerves are intersecting. So these 23 billion nerves intersect at 7 main points, which are also called the ganglions. If you I'll just write that in the chat area. Ganglions or the plexus. So this is where the intersection happens, and it is at the intersection points that your chakras exist. Okay, and then your chakras are obviously the transmitter of energies from a higher dimension to the physical dimension, and again from the physical dimension to the higher dimension. Chakras are acting like a bridge between your multiple dimensions. So this diagram shows your chakras in more detail. This when you the perineum is your Mooladhara, then your coccyx is also your Mooladhara. Little higher up is your sexual center or your Swadhisthana. Still higher up is your solar plexus, the Manipura. Then still higher up, as you see on the thymus gland, that is your heart center. You are able to see the diagram, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Still higher up is the throat center, which is your Vishuddhi chakra. Then higher up above that is your pituitary gland. And then the highest above all is the pineal gland. And the pineal gland and the pituitary gland are precisely the glands through which you communicate with the higher spiritual order, with the higher spiritual beings. You travel to different galaxies through that. So that area has a different name. I'll come to that as we move on. So these etheric centers or chakras, they coincide with nerve ganglions, with hormonal glands, and with the 7 bodies. The 7 chakras coincide with the 7 bodies that we covered last time. So the Mooladhara chakra is about our physical body. Swadhisthana chakra is about our astral body. The Manipur chakra is about our lower mental body. So that is how they are all related. Now, in terms of glands, as I have been telling you, these endocrinal glands, you can see the gonads, then the kidney, the pancreas. Just above the pancreas are the adrenals. Is it legible enough for you or not legible? It's small.
Small but
Yeah.
okay.
Let me see if I can. Let me just. Small but okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm not in a. The thymus, the thyroid, the pituitary, pineal, they are all listed out over there. My internet seems to be acting up a bit, so just be patient. It comes back. Okay. Then this is more difficult to understand, but this is, see, the all the chakras are along the spinal cord, and then from the spinal cord come all these network of nerves which are connected to different organs, you know, and that is how the chakras are connected to the organs, the glands are connected to the organs. Knowing this is important because we are considering the entire inner architecture. So we are trying to understand the physical body anatomically, and at the same time, we're trying to understand our, our etheric body anatomically, plus so many other. Now, these etheric centers or the chakras, they are, thoughts and emotions occur always between breaths. Okay, so you should know that between the in breath and the out breath, that is when the thoughts and emotions enter, and then those thoughts and emotions go and act up on the chakras. They come in the entire event of the thought and emotion happening is happening via the chakra. Now the most important is this thing called the crystal palace. Okay, this crystal palace is how you communicate. We have done meditations where I've gotten you to close your eyes and then focus on your pineal gland, and from there we have connected with the deities. So this is the that entire area is actually called the crystal palace, and this is your Agnya lens, Pankaj. This entire crystal palace is your entire Agnya area, and I'll show you a diagram of the crystal palace. See, you can see first there is the pituitary gland, then above it is the hypothalamus, next to it is the thalamus, and next to it is the pineal gland. Can you see all the four? Yeah. So this is the crystal palace which every yogi focuses on. Every yogi's work is actually to arrive here. What a yogi does is he keeps working on his chakras, and by the time he comes to the crystal palace, he has cleared all the lower chakras. The very, very systematic yogis, they spend 3 years doing shodhana of every chakra. you know so shodhana is like a purification ritual. So he'll spend 3 years on the money, on the muladhara, then 3 more years on swadhisthana, 3 more years on manipura. That is how they will clear the karmic baggage of every chakra and arrive until the crystal palace. So once they arrive to the crystal palace, from the crystal palace they are then able to do intergalactic travels. A yogi will simply go to Andromeda or to Pleiades or to Orion, any of these celestial bodies. They can directly through their pineal gland. Pineal gland secretes a particular compound called DMT, if you are aware. Yeah, it is also called dimethyltryptamine. The dimethyltryptamine is responsible for a lot of body functions, and dimethyltryptamine is what gets secreted when you are also on some psychedelics. you know so dimethyltryptamine is the key ingredient that your agnya chakra, by default, also your melatonin, your sleep and wake cycles are also dependent on your DMT. So yes, Nitin.
Sir, these things, if a person say he's a Brahmin at a mandir and he keeps reciting mantras,
Yeah,
so yeah, he is not aware of the science that is happening in the body.
correct, he's not aware.
He is not aware. So, how does it happen? Meaning, uh, a person who's aware only feels it, or it can happen unknowingly also.
It can also happen unknowingly. Just that what we are going to enter Gnana Yoga. So
Okay.
before we enter Gnana Yoga, we are getting our spiritual fundamentals in place. So
Okay.
that when we discuss Gnana Yoga, we discuss Raman Maharshi's work.
Okay.
At that time, all these references will be given.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is why we are doing it consciously.
Hmm.
But for a Hatha yogi who has no idea of all these spiritual lingos, the same thing is yet going to happen with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a collective shift that is going to happen in the next year.
Collective shift has already started happening since 2012.
Okay.
It is only intensifying more and more.
Okay.
You know, this 2025 was a bridge year where a lot of your emotions and a lot of your clearing has happened. 2026 is going to be the year of seeding. So everything that you have learned until now spiritually, it's all going to start getting grounded and real in your life 2026 onwards. That is the theme of the collective shift for 2026.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bhavin, I've heard that a lot of unpredictable things are planned to happen in 2000 in 26, probably the middle of or beginning.
Yeah.
There's a much greater shift. So, is
Yeah.
that a part
Yeah.
of the spiritual grounding process? Wh-
That's not a part of the spiritual grounding process. That is a part of the collective shift process. The
Okay.
collective shift is also called the shift of the ages. So when our planetary system uh, goes through a certain portion called the photon belt, that is when there is an alignment between Earth, Sun, and the central sun. All three get aligned. The central sun is the sun behind this sun. There's a sun behind this sun called Sirius, Sirius. So when Earth, Sun, and Sirius all three get aligned, that is when this entire process of Chaturyugas moves from one gear to another. So we are moving towards Satyuga, but before the dawn of Satyuga, this intensification of Kali Yuga happens. That is the collective shift in simpler words. You can also use the word ascension for that. But there are so many words for that. Pralay is another word for that. So this collective shift is happening and it always has different themes. So theme for 2026 is going to be seeding of virtues, you know. And at the same time, a lot of people are going to come out, lot of charlatans, a lot of people who are deceitful, they are going to be exposed, which has already started happening
Hmm.
and is going to intensify more. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of you had questions. Yeah. Pankaj, yes.
Sir, on the slide you mentioned that yogis start from the lower chakra and go up to the top chakra.
Right. Right.
Is it in one lifetime or is it carried forward? Let's say they have worked out until the lower two, three chakras, so the next
Possible.
chakra, is it like,
Possible.
and
Possible. Possible.
for
You
someone
see,
like us,
yeah,
sorry, for someone like us, have if we have worked in the past life, will that be still same
definitely
or
yes.
will have to restart everything?
No, no, no. You always start with the advantage. If you have in the spiritual world, that is the main difference between spiritual and material world. In material world, you always start from zero. In spiritual world, you always start with that head start, which you have gathered for yourself. That is why we say that focus on something that you're going to carry beyond this lifetime. You know. So all our careers and everything we are going to leave behind. But our punyas, our sadhana, our tapasya, everything that we have done in order to improve our intellects and purify our heart and getting established in consciousness, all of that is carried forward from one lifetime to another. But that doesn't mean that again you may have to start from zero, but then it is like like a Ferrari, you will go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. So it is like that. So it is not that you don't start from zero, you again start from zero, but you you travel that very, very fast, you know. Like Raman Maharshi had, while he was a young boy, whatever, I don't remember, maybe 16, 17, and he had a near death experience and he got enlightened. And then he came to Arunachala and he stayed there forever. He didn't move out of the mountains ever, you know. So imagine how quickly it happened for him. Just one, during his teenage, he got one near death experience and that's it, you know. So that took care of everything, the entire movement, right, all the way up to the Agnya Chakra within a matter of hours. So you begin from zero, yes, but then you are on a fast track. Yeah. And then we also have these natural ways of working through the chakras. Like education takes every human being from Mooladhara to Swadhisthana. You know, otherwise a person is a beggar or a robber at the Swadhisthana chakra. You educate yourself, you automatically go to Swadhisthana. After that, if you start thinking in terms of others' benefits while thinking of your benefit, you become an entrepreneur. So you move to Manipur chakra. So if you are an entrepreneur, you are by default in the Manipur chakra. You know, unless a yogi who is yogi is doing a very deep cleansing also. You are generally stationed, your energies are more predominantly stationed in the Manipur chakra, you know. And then if you are a leader, then your energies are more heart centric. So you are in the next chakra, Anahat chakra, you know. And then if you are a Brahmana at heart, or you if you are a enlightened spiritual master, then your energies are already in the next higher chakra, which is Vishuddhi chakra, you know. And Vishuddhi chakra is where it all begins. The entire spiritual process starts unfolding from there, you know. And after that is higher and higher levels of being a spiritual master, that is a Siddha and Avduta and all. Then you go to the higher and higher chakras. Okay, so now next is we are going to come to you know, by making the today's session practical, and I'm going to teach you these four techniques, so that because we started with the concept that today's session is about knowing your inner architecture and also about you know, some how to manage your emotions. Okay, so now you understand that your crystal palace is here. Now there is a way to connect to your crystal palette. It is by getting your tongue to touch your upper palate. That will work like an etheric switch. You see that? You can try and do that. Make your tongue touch your upper palate. Okay? That works like an etheric switch. In deep meditation, it happens automatically for some people, you know. So when your tongue touches your upper palate, that etheric switch is there, and then you are drawing down energies from the crystal palace. Okay, Ranjita was asking for some de-stressing techniques. So this is a de-stressing technique. Okay. Then the second one is you do a massage on your sternum. So your sternum starts from your chest bone. So on your chest bone, you just keep moving your finger in a clockwise direction. When you move your finger in a clockwise direction on your sternum, that's when you again feel emotionally better, you know. So every time you feel emotionally low, you can try these couple of techniques. These are very, very sulabh, very simple, you know. There isn't much that you have to do. There's no mantra also, there's nothing. Now the third is if you have the liberty of access to a tree, you know, then you just touch the tree with one hand and your solar plexus with another, you know. So then what will happen is the all your negative energies, you can also recite that may my negative energies be taken over by the tree and drained into the earth, and may the positive energies come from space via the tree into me, you know. So this is another way in which you can relax yourself, your system, you can purify yourself. And the fourth one is very, very powerful. I might have done it many times, that if you're, You know, you,
Sir, we
yeah,
lost you for
am I
no.
audible? You lost. Yes, right. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. So you go to YouTube and you put on the sound of a waterfall, and just listen to that sound. Energize your solar plexus. Okay. This might come across as very silly, but it is very powerful. Yeah. And these are certain things you should teach your family also. These are very basic things. They are not interested in mantras and hi-fi spirituality or learning some meditation, but these basic things you should just teach your family. You know, all four of these are very, very basic. Yeah. So apply this, until we meet next. Apply this. Let me know how you work out. I personally keep using the waterfall technique very often. Whenever I feel the need, whenever I feel depleted, energy, or I feel, but for full effect, for full benefit, it is ideal that you listen to it consciously. Can you hear me? Can,
Bhavin, I think you're breaking up. Your voice is breaking up. We're not able to hear you.
yeah. Now you can hear me.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
hear me now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just I what I was sharing when you perhaps weren't hearing is that you consciously listen to the waterfall noise. It helps more. Okay, not like you put it on and you're busy working. You consciously listen to it. It will help you more. Are we
It's like
clear on all the
meditating
four
on them, right?
techniques? Yeah. This is the image for
Bhavin, can you
the
go back? I
tongue
just want to take
touching
a
the
snap
upper
of that.
palate. Massaging the sternum. Are the four techniques clear?
I had one question regarding the sternum massage, Bhavin.
Yes.
So sternum is the bone uh, in front of the heart, right? That
Right. From the pit of your stomach, it
okay,
begins and then it goes all the way the entire chest bone.
okay. And when you say massage it clockwise,
Yeah.
my palm is facing me, and I go clockwise this way.
Correct. Correct.
Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. 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 I assume you can see the screen also now.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the sternum massage. So we will quickly learn one another meditation called the inner smile meditation. You got to so because this is about the inner architecture, we are doing a meditation related to that. You see, if you read this slide, it's pretty clear. Your organs are actually your best friends. They have taken millions of years to develop in terms of evolution. They work 24 by 7, and it is only less even if we share gratitude daily with them. If you can share gratitude and smile at them, what eventually happens is you and the people around you start becoming peaceful, you know, and it leads to unconditional love and absolute happiness. So, how exactly you go about doing it, I will share with you now. But the whole idea is to smile at your organs and to share gratitude. See, you should be very clear where your organs are, because I'm going to tell you a different function for every organ. Okay. So, like where your grief is, where your anger is, where your resentment is, I'm going to tell you. So, first, you have a look at this chart and just be clear. See, everybody knows where the heart is generally. You typically know where the lungs also are. Okay. Uh, Now, what you need to remember is where the stomach is and where the liver is. That is something that you should remember. On the left is the stomach, on the right is the liver. And besides that, you need to know where your kidneys are. Your kidneys are actually towards the back of your body, okay, and in your lower abdomen. They have not been shown over here. So what you do is you practice forgiveness. Inner smile is to practice forgiveness. You become aware of any feelings. So suppose you're feeling anger, okay. What you do is you look at the liver and you smile and share gratitude. So I'm showing you what is affecting what for now, so that you know which organ to look at. Okay, anxiety affects the top of your intestine. Worry affects the upper left side of your intestine. Sadness affects your lungs actually. Fear affects your kidneys actually. And anger affects your heart. I'm going to show you a chart also. If you want to take a photograph, I'll let you take a photograph of this, the condition of your inner body in terms of emotions, and then now you take a photograph of
One
this.
second.
This is okay. Yeah, take this, and now this. This is very important. Okay, this is the most important of all. So every time you feel sadness, the sadness is coming from the lungs. You should remember this. And the sadness is also affecting the lungs. It is a two-way street. The sadness is coming from the lungs and it is affecting the lungs. Same way, anger is coming from the liver and affecting the liver.
So, Bhavin, every time we're doing pranayama, it
Yeah,
affects the lungs in a good way, right? Is that why we feel
sure.
elevated?
Sure, and then no, that is because of pranothana, which is the exaltation of prana. You
Yeah.
feel good. But if you are also at the while doing pranayama, let us say you focus on your lungs, and you smile at them, then to some extent your sadness is going to be depleted. You know.
Okay.
Then while doing your normal meditation or just close your eyes, you're feeling angry for whatever reason. Close your eyes, focus on your liver, smile at them, share gratitude, and you'll realize your anger is going down. If you're feeling energy depleted, you focus on your heart, smile, share gratitude, keep doing that for 5 minutes, you will feel exaltation of energy. You're feeling worried about something just before a stressful meeting or something, you focus on your spleen, your stomach, your pancreas, smile at them, share gratitude. Only stomach is good enough if you don't remember where the spleen and pancreas are. You know. If you're not feeling creative enough, you have to complete an article very soon, or you have to think of some crazy idea in order to resolve some issue of yours. You focus on your sexual organs and you smile at them, you share gratitude, and you will feel creative. Okay, this chart is what you want to take a photograph of. So we'll do a quick meditation. I'll guide you through this. Close your eyes. Know that your organ is your best friend. It has taken millions of years for it to develop. All organs of yours work 24/7 in some way or the other. They are doing the hustle, they are doing the grunt work, and you have never ever shared gratitude with them for their grunt work. Grunt work is the donkey work. Grunt work is the work for which nobody shares any gratitude with you. Nobody acknowledges it. You know, it's like that sweeper, you know, or it's like that municipal person who is clearing out your garbage. He's doing the grunt work. Nobody's appreciating. Nobody's thanking them. You know, just because your tax money is paying for their salary is not good enough. So your organs are similar. They are doing the grunt work. So what you need to do now is, I want you to focus on your lungs and smile at them. Let there be a slight smile on your face. Focus on your lungs and smile. Share gratitude. Say thanks. Keep doing this. Keep sharing gratitude. Keep smiling at your lungs. Rarely do you take this opportunity, you know. Lungs are actually working 24 by 7 for you, unlike some other organs. 24 by 7, they are active. Now shift your attention to your liver. Smile at it. Whatever residual anger you have is going to vanish. Smile at your liver. Say thanks to your liver for all the detoxification it is doing all the time. Move over to your heart. Thank your heart. Smile at your heart. Ask it to reduce your impatience, your energy depletion, your hatred. When you smile at your heart, you become more patient, you start becoming more loving, you gain energy. Now move your focus to your stomach. Say thanks to your stomach. An entire life it has gone by without you sharing gratitude. You hardly acknowledged it for the grunt work. There's so much the stomach is always doing. As you smile at the stomach, you let go of anxiety automatically. Focus on your kidneys. Kidneys are towards the back of your body, lower abdomen, the back of your body. 2 kidneys. Smile at them. Share gratitude. When you do that, your willpower goes up, your fear goes down, your ambition multiplies. Finally, move towards your sexual organs. Thank them. Thank them for their work. It is owing to the sexual organs of your parents that you have taken birth. And when you thank your sexual organs, you become more creative automatically because the entire reservoir of creativity lies there. It creates life. Now thank your entire body at one go. Share gratitude with your entire body at one go for the miraculous work it does. Also share forgiveness that you rarely acknowledge it, that you rarely look upon it, that you rarely pay heed to it. Oh my goodness, 24 by 7 the body has been working and you have been busy in everything else besides the body. It is the body that allows you to be, that allows you to function, allows you to enjoy this small journey on the planet called Earth. But rarely have you paid gratitude. Seek forgiveness, pay gratitude. Seek forgiveness, pay gratitude. Seek forgiveness, pay gratitude. Smile at your entire body. And you can gradually open your eyes. So your exercises As you gradually open your eyes, you can look at the screen. Your exercises until we meet next. Awareness of your chakras, which means if you're not confident, then you got to work on your Manipur. I'll also give away the Bij mantras if you've forgotten. For the Mooladhar, it is Lam. For Swadhisthana, it is Vam. For Manipur, it is Ram. For Anahat, the heart chakra, it is Yam. For throat chakra, it is Hum. For Agnya chakra, it is Om. And for Sahasrara chakra, it is Ah. Okay, these are the seed sounds. If you are depleted in their core attribute, if you are low on confidence, you got to do Ram on your Manipur chakra. If you're low on creativity, you got to do Vam on your Swadhisthana chakra. Okay. So until we meet next, you be aware of your chakras. Do these 4 relaxation exercises you learned today. Massaging the sternum, the etheric switch on the upper palate, the tree touch exercise, and listening to the waterfall. And most importantly, the inner smile meditation.